Good morning, everybody.
It's me.
Welcome to
It's me
welcome.
and Perky.
Let me fix something here. I need to do this.
Oh yeah, not so perky.
It is a good morning, a great morning. I still have a heartbeat, and I was able to get out of bed on my own accord this morning. How is all my little swamp rats doing this morning?
Swamp rats.
Yeah. Oh Lord, have mercy. Let's see who's in here this morning. Good morning, Bumcrack. Hope you're doing great this morning. Jabus, good to see ya. Glenn, I know you're already gone. Have a great one, son. Make some money. Eating breakfast while waiting. Okay. Off to the eye doctor shortly. Cannot see through all the scratches. What in the world did you do this time, dude? Do we need to get you in those little helmets like they put on babies with a face guard on it? Maybe football uh, armor. Good morning, Ping. How are you this morning? Here's the link if
Football
anybody wants.
armor.
Yeah, what's it called?
Pads.
Padding. Yeah, pads. Thank you.
Football armor. We're going to war.
Yeah. Good morning, Vintage. Is Anissa in here?
Yeah, Phil, you're not supposed to try to wear the same glasses for 10 years.
Yeah. So it's a cool fall winter a weekend. Tuesday morning. Good morning, Lag. Young man, I hope you're doing great this morning. Or Mama, whichever one you want to go by. So how things are with you today, Todrick? How is the son and the wife? They doing better?
Oh, they're all right.
They can fend for themselves now?
Uh, in what capacity?
Okay.
Um, physically, yeah.
Is Gage still in the wheelchair or is he hobbled?
Nah, he's almost walking.
Okay,
He
good.
still grabs the crutches if we're gonna
Right.
go to the grocery store or something, whatever. He's all right. Lag's leg is feeling better.
Well, good. Uniques by the Creek, good morning. Thank you, Johnny.
Ping gets to go have Mexican today. Sweet.
Good morning, Texas. Val? Val, how are you doing? How is all those grandkids? After my retirement club meeting, well, that'd be nice. I'd like to have some good Mexican food, and I'm not talking about damn Taco Hell.
Taco hell?
Yeah, I'm talking about chalupas and chimachungas or whatever they're called, and some real rice and that kind of stuff.
Talk about chimichangas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello,
Yeah.
Debbie.
Debbie Debbie.
But around here, it's Taco Bell.
Hung the moon grandbaby.
Down in Rock Hill, there used to be some Mexican restaurants that were run by Mexicans, so the food was good. But not so up here.
Sexy arm Todd. Debbie, you're full of Debbie.
Well, if it's three amigos and two senoras uh, cooking it up, I don't think you can get much more Mexican than that unless you are in Mexico.
We should have good Mexican food here in town, but they're not that great.
I had a neighbor next door to us over here, Rosanna. She was from Nicaragua. And I know that's not Mexican food, but damn, that was some good South American food. She made all her tacos by hand. All that. I mean, it was gonna get eaten. Good morning, Landshark Picker. How are you? You're close to Pasadena, California, or is there a Pasadena, Texas too?
They opened a new Mexican food place in Waco that's they serve traditional Mexican food, which isn't like the typical. And I didn't really like it all that much. It had some weird kind of black beans and this and that, and I was like, this ain't all that great. And then it was like $22 a plate, and I'm like, sheesh,
Yeah,
it
eating
was
out is
expensive.
expensive. And I've
But
tried, I've tried making like Mexican rice and like they do in the restaurant, which is basically white rice that they've dumped a thing of picante sauce into and stirred it up and then reheated it.
yeah,
Uh,
I kind of like the plain old taquerias in Waco. There's about 6 of them. Taqueria number 3, taqueria number 5. You know,
right.
different locations around town, and they're not too expensive, and they got the big cold beer. So
Cool. So there is a Pasadena, Texas.
yeah,
Okay. When I hear Pasadena, I think of the
it's a big,
California, the
it's a
Rose
big
Bowl
town. It's
parade.
close, right by Houston.
Yeah. Now you're making me hungry.
Hmm.
Yes, it was, James. Good place to get shot when you're a handsome young man. Are you saying James is the handsome young man, or are you saying you are the handsome young man, Texas? I saw bits and pieces of it. I'm not really a what's his name? Saturday Night Live. Not Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Fever.
Travolta.
Kind of Travolta. I'm not really one of his fan. I'm not a fan of his. Even
He's
back then, I wasn't. So,
he's all right.
and I just didn't really like those kind of movies either.
I like him better than De Niro now.
Yeah, I'd send my girlfriend off at the time, who later became Mrs. Hucks one. Good morning, Anissa. I'd send her off with some of her girlfriends, and they went and saw it. You would should have went and saw it. It was so sad, but so good. I'm like, okay.
Me too, Sadie.
Yeah, yeah, that happens. Uh, just before we get started on the reselling part, on the cruising front, the Bahamas have moved up to a level 2 as far as their tourism. That means to use extreme caution when you're out and about. So I don't know when the last time I got off a ship in the Bahamas.
Why are the Bahamas level 2? They're kind of.
Well, it's because their crime has kind of picked up.
That doesn't make
So,
a lot of sense because they're just kind of.
hey, that's from the National Travel People or the Safety Advisory Council or whatever the hell they're called. I don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, but
I
those islands aren't that big. They can't police those because their main income is tourism. Seem like they would want to protect that.
That's the reason they have that new in Nassau they have that new area that's uh, at the end of the dock that's fenced off and it's got all kinds of shops and stuff like that. and either if you've not been cleared to be in there because you're an employee or you're a cruise passenger, you can't get in there. Uh,
I mean, it's the Bahamas. It's not. It's
Todd,
not a.
I'm just repeating what I said. I mean,
It's
I
not one of
read.
the big islands like Haiti or Dominican Republic or Cuba it's the Bahamas.
Yeah, well, you know
It
what?
just
I
doesn't make any sense.
People have to screw up everything. You know, people
Yeah,
just can't leave things alone. So anyway, so stay on the boat and gamble. Jabez, the casinos and the shops are closed on the cruise ship when they're in port because they're wanting people to go off the ship and spend their money there. So we just go get some food in the restaurant and we just go sit out on the balcony and read our book and enjoy the warm weather.
thanks, Lag. I think I could take Tom. I just keep dancing around while he sits in his chair.
While I'm huffing and puffing and going, oh, my knee, oh, my hip. uh,
I may be older, but I'm pretty spry.
Drink booze. I only drink when I'm in the casino because I get drinks for free. And they're real drinks. They're not like those Vegas drinks that's mostly mixer. Get down. Jesus Christ. You're stealing my glory this morning, girl.
Tom started out this morning in a good mood,
I am
folks.
still in a great mood.
Now he's pissed off.
She is just like an ex girlfriend. You just can't get rid of her. Oh Lord, baby.
When's the last time you had an ex-girlfriend?
Oh, 1993, 92.
Shut up, Lag.
There was a lot between Mrs. Huck's number one and Mrs. Huck's number two.
That was a hell of a hill. That's an old video now. That was like 2 years ago.
Your angry grandma is not back. Good morning, Anissa. Um, anyway, so on to the reselling front. Well, migrating that direction, I saw a short by Bearded Picker, where he's talking
Yes.
about somebody being in the post office and wanting their Christmas stamps, and he was like, "Can't we get through Halloween first?" Well, Scott, some people don't wait till the last minute to mail Christmas cards out. The ones that still do it. Okay, here's the poll for the day. How many of y'all send out Christmas cards?
We used to, but we haven't done it in 10 years or so. 8 years. We send out a few, just not like the big
Right.
old long list of them like we used to.
Yeah, we send them to parents and brothers and sisters and close friends and
A lot of people do those newsletters. This is
yeah.
what happened in 2024.
I don't even read them. I just throw them away. I mean, not throw them away. I just don't ever read them. I just,
Here's what the Hux clan did, and they put in photocopied pictures of places they've done and been.
I mean, if I know somebody's had like serious illnesses in their family, their grandchild had some difficulties when they were born, then I'll read through it to see if there's any updates on that. But I don't really care that Timmy scored 9,000 on his SAT and he's going to get a full ride to Harvard. So I really don't give a shit. That becomes a brag letter. Good morning, Jennifer Hayes. How are you this morning? That's what social media is for. Nah, you know what? I'm kind of phasing out of social media. I just, I'm going to start thinning back all of it, which I don't do anything except Facebook anyway. I don't. Is YouTube considered social media? Um, because I just if people have um, if I have a relationship with them, and consider that I have a relationship with the majority of you in the chat. Um, that's one thing, but like I've got some people that have requested friends with me, and they're all friends of land chart pickers
Morning, Jennifer.
and Scots. Face. Oh God, here. No, we're not going to do that. Don't click on that. Uh, you and Todd share a pool. Yeah, I know. When Todd's out of town, you fly in and hang out by the pool. But it's going to get kind of cold, so or it might be getting cold now. So that's going to come to a stop.
Sadie's got a Christmas card.
Oh,
Look,
hang on a minute. Let me make you big.
did you renew your vows at the Elvis Chapel or something, Sadie? That's cool.
Oh, poor thing.
That's a
Well, that's
good
good.
picture.
That's
Oh,
good.
cha-ching!
At least he dressed up.
I sold some firearm grease. Sweet.
Um, what did little Debbie say that everybody's giving her smiley
Your
face about?
Vegas wedding? That's fun times. Look at that. Oh, Elvis back there waving.
Yeah.
That's a
Is
big.
that
It's a
is
big corsage right there.
yeah? Is that the wedding or is that just one that y'all renewed your vows?
He's
'Cause-
too old in this picture for it to be his first wedding.
well, he might.
Sadie's been married a long time.
But
I
not by
think,
Abner's.
unless this is his second or third wife, and I just don't know about it.
Oh.
How many times you been married, Sadie? Yeah, renewal. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
You need to.
So,
What did you sell yesterday, Todrick?
I had a banger day yesterday, man. I sold a pair of motorcycle boots. Can you see it there? My
Cool
camera
beans.
sucks. $150 for motorcycle boots. I think I took a 10%. I think I sent a 10% off. So it would have been about 130 something. And I sold a Bose speaker. Come on. $99.99. Look, I put the video with it playing.
Cool.
I think adding a video really helps. And it's sad, but it's the end of an era.
What's that?
I sold the very last SpongeBob SquarePants nightlight. I've had these 6 years and I've sold 300 of them. This is the last one. Sold for $12.99 plus shipping. Lag about the last one. Oh, it's just if you get a bulk buy that just keeps paying and keeps paying, This is my longest running one of those. I used to sell them for like $8, but then when I got down to just a few left, I upped it to $12.99, and they kept selling. It's over. The honeymoon's over. They're gone. I'm sending my last little SpongeBob out.
Well, you just
I just need to find some more stuff like that. A multiple quantity. It doesn't have to be a valuable thing like that nightlight. It's not. But
yeah.
if I averaged making $5 take home pay on each one? What's 300 times 5?
I don't know. It's too early in the morning to be counting this morning. I'm looking for something.
It's, it's a lot of moolah, a lot of greenbacks.
Well, you should have had one more sale from yesterday, but I lost the link to those 8 millimeter tapes.
Tara's in the waiting room, and you got me solo, so you're
Uh,
screwing up.
no, I'm looking for those 8 millimeter tapes that you had yesterday.
They sold.
Did they really?
Yep. They gone.
Okay.
I took an offer of $50.
Oh, was gonna pay this. I was gonna pay full price for them.
Well, you waited too long. I told you about them a day or two ago.
Yesterday, and I'm glad they sold.
So $50 plus shipping on those. There's no telling what are on those. They could have something really great.
Well, if the East German one was really East Germany, then that would be a really good one.
I don't
Good
see
morning,
how they could
Tara.
get a film of East
Hello, I thought
in
I'd come harass
the
y'all today.
1960s.
Yeah, well, there's lots of film strips. I mean, I got a lot of them, and so it's a case where you know you really take to make the value. If it wasn't the East, if it wasn't for the military portion of it, I would have offered you $1 a piece for them because I
Well, you
people think.
snooze, you lose, Tom.
Well, you know what? I lost the dadgum link, and that's probably the reason I lost it because somebody bought it. Um,
I
Oh
didn't
yeah, that
buy it
sucks
until
for
like
you.
yesterday late.
well, Todd, you know what? It was yesterday morning when you talked about it.
Okay, you had 10 hours to buy it.
Yeah, I had 10 hours, and that's it. Doesn't matter. You still sold it. You got your $50. Damn.
Well, he probably was busy yesterday. He was doing stuff. He had to go to Cracker Barrel for the senior menu. He goes to bed
No,
at
I
like
did not.
7:30. He goes
I
to bed at
did not.
7:30.
And since it's my channel, I can do what I want. This is what I do with.
As long as you're
Oh, you're
real,
kicking me
real
out?
gentle.
Yeah,
Oh, you're putting your link in.
yeah. That's what I do with the 8 millimeter film strips.
How are your views over there? Do you put up on
Ah,
your, yeah,
I
really?
got
I'm
like
surprised.
I got like 2,800 subscribers. How many subscribers? 29 2 point. Excuse me. I got 2.95 subscribers.
Well,
Thousand
do
subscribers.
you put up content regularly
I
or no?
haven't been putting them up in a good while because my scanner broke because I bought
Uh-oh.
it used, and so now I have a new one, and I want to get more back up over there because I just turn it on, and it does its thing until it runs to the end of the tape. So it's not like I have to do a lot for it. So anyway, there's been some cool stuff over there, but there's a lot of them. Like you'll have a lot, and there's like five of them are useless.
Mm.
So I'll make an offer on something for somebody, and I'll say in the offer, unless you got something really special in there, this is what it's worth.
Oh boy. You're the kind of person that Jim ignores when they talk
No,
like that.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I am not.
When people start telling you got to understand what it's worth, Jim ignores them.
No, yeah, but this is not. This is not something. This is something that's totally. People are just think that they got some kind of gold mine here. If you got shootings at the Hill in Dallas during Kennedy's assassination, yeah, you can ask big money for that. If you got some film from Pearl Harbor when the battle was going on, yeah, you got some money. But
Home movies from the grassy knoll.
yeah, your 5 year
Well,
old
I guess
having his
that you may
birthday
be.
party. The 5 year old having his birthday party. There's a million of them out there. So, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to price their stuff. Actually, if it had been me with that Eastern Europe, Eastern Germany, I'd have probably priced it up higher.
Oh my god, you know what I got a ton of and I have not listed. I don't know why I sit on it. Is this those freaking slides. You know those slides, those
Right.
photo slides. Oh my god, I got a lot. And I just want to like lot them up and just say here's what they are. Jim's like, "No, you guys scan them." And I just never get around to scanning them.
That takes a lot of time.
Yeah, that's what I think
And
too.
then
And
you have to go back in there.
I got some cool ones. They're in the carousel, but they're like from Iran and in like 1960 or whatever, 70, which I thought those probably would have maybe somebody have some interest in those.
I'm not bitter, Jabus. I'm glad he sold them. Like I said, I would have probably listed them for more because of that Eastern Europe, especially since I sort of know what things are going for. Because I have people that I have bought from before that they send me they'll send me a email saying, "Hey, I've got these in, and this is what they're about." Um, One of the videos over on Real 8 is the old horse jumping off of into diving into the swimming pool thing
Oh yeah,
from New York. I mean, see, to me that's interesting.
that's crazy. They made a
Your
movie about it.
your
Disney
four,
did.
your 4 year old having a birthday party, not so much unless he's got some groovy toys. But you know, the content has got to be really good. So anyway, sorry about that, Todd.
It's okay, Tom. You got on your high horse there, and I'll forgive you this time.
Okay, okay, that's my loss. Your gain. Even though you got that other
Well,
12 bucks.
when Todd sells the stuff so fast, when he lists it, you better get on it and buy it.
Well, I didn't even know he had them until he mentioned said I got some. We were talking about it yesterday.
All right, next lot of those I get, I'll earmark them for you and give you 12 weeks on a
No,
on a private listing
no,
to
just
decide whether you want them or not.
just send me a link, and then if I want them, I'll buy them.
Tom's on notice. Ah,
I just and I've got a lot of those, and I just don't, and they're all scanned. I just don't have time to sit down and pull out 15 seconds of
yeah,
all these
I
videos.
could cancel the order and say I dropped them and they caught on fire and they fell
I
in the
was
lake.
walking past my swimming pool and I dropped him in the water.
I bet
Sorry.
you the person that bought it collects military type stuff, or that.
Those were made by an Air Force Master Sergeant, so
Yeah,
there could be some really cool stuff on there.
yeah.
And I think he may have been part of the crew of the Blue Angels because I got a balaclava uh, necktie thing
Uh
that's
huh.
got the Blue Angels logo on it that I'm selling, and that came in the same lot. So I'm thinking there could be some Blue Angels video in that lot.
Right. Some old Blue Angels.
Yeah, I wonder when they started. Let me Google that.
When did VHS camcorders come out? 1982 was when the camcorders came out. There's still a lot of 1970s 8 millimeter or Super 8. Anyway, so what's your sales been like, Tara?
All right.
You still feeding the child and
Yeah.
the horses? John
Yeah, we still have a roof over our head, so that's all that counts.
Jim has to fend for himself.
Yeah. Honestly, it's been actually pretty good the last week or so. I can't really complain.
Bum, bum,
Well,
bum, bum,
good.
bum. So, yeah.
I put that stuff up on that Sell It by Sunday auction, which goes live next Wednesday. So I'm kind of, excited to see how that stuff does over there, and just doing some other stuff.
Is it like a local auction type thing?
No, it's all over, but it's like a horse auction thing.
Oh, you selling off horses?
No, I'm
You
putting
put
like
J.
memorabilia. I put some memorabilia on there. I bought the estate of this horse lady,
Right.
specific discipline, specific breed. Bought a lot of her stuff. She died like I think she's been dead like 10 years, but she'd have been one of the big ones, old blue blood, big person, really good horses, lots of money and stuff. I bought a bunch of her stuff, and
Good.
I've been selling some of it on eBay. But I'm like, somebody bought something off me and then resold it on the next site, and I'm like, why am I doing that? Why don't I just take it off eBay and go put it on that site myself? So
Right.
I they had another. They've had like series of her auctions here,
Right.
so I bought another bunch, and I'm gonna see. I put some stuff there. I'm gonna see how it does, and I'm gonna feed some of that stuff slowly over there.
Uh, oh, I didn't know whether you was putting Jim out to stud because he seems to be pretty fertile.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody would pay for Jim Studfie. Okay, anyway,
God.
I think Jim's ready to go.
Uh,
He'd be more like going to the glue works.
yeah. Now I can't get that picture out of my mind.
Yeah, that's kind of creeping me out too, and I'm married to him.
He has lost weight, though, I hear.
Yeah, because he quit eating all refined sugar.
Oh,
He
damn.
is actually losing weight. I told him better watch out because he can't be skinnier than me, or I'm going to have to leave him because I won't be with a man that's skinnier than me.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so
I,
but no, and he feels better, because like his stomach, he said it would always feel real hard and stuff. I don't know, maybe he thought maybe he's getting that pre-diabetic or whatever. So
right.
he's
Good
like, I
morning,
want
Mike.
to. I want to stay alive, so I don't know. He don't weigh himself, but he has gone down 2 pant sizes. I know that.
Well, that's good.
That's
Yeah,
great. I need to do that bad.
yeah. But he used to sit at night and eat ice cream. He don't eat ice cream anymore. He don't drink soda anymore. He don't. He'll look at shit and go, nope, I can't eat it. It's got sugar in it. It's like when he quit cigarettes, he just goes cold turkey and that's it.
And he quit drinking.
Yeah, he's no fun anymore.
You're just gonna have to trade him in for a younger model.
Ugh, I
One
don't
that's
think there's a, I don't think there's anybody younger that's gonna want my old ass either. So that's all right.
well, you never know.
I don't think so, Tom.
One of those horse boys.
Uh, yeah, no. Now horses are really a woman's sport. Anyway, all the trainers and all the farriers and stuff like that are men. But yeah, the most 90, I would say 75% of the people actually riding are female.
Yeah, I've told you before about the friend of mine that spent all the damn money on a horse for his daughter and the fancy truck and trailer, and
Yeah.
Then she got the boys caught her eye, and she's like, "I'm going to get rid of that." And he's like, "No, hell, you're not. We've got 100 grand in your damn hobby."
Yeah.
So she met a boy that was doing the where they jump stuff.
Hunter jumpers or
Yeah,
something.
and so that's what she did too. So they kind of
There you go.
have
Match
Google
made in
eyes for each
heaven.
other. Actually, they're still together.
There you go. Match made in
So he's
heaven.
like, damn it, she's gone. I've gone from having to keep up a damn $100,000 hobby to probably her mother's probably going to cost me $50,000 and $100,000 just to get her married.
Oh boy.
Bareback Mountain.
Uh, you guys and gals that's got daughters that have had church married weddings. Um, Ballpark figure. What did y'all spend? What year and how much did you spend? If you don't mind me
Oh,
asking. I don't have any
Jim.
daughters. I don't have any daughters, so
I want to say Jim's daughter was like around 45 or 50 grand.
damn. And they've been married.
Well, they rented this high end like place in Wisconsin where she got married, and I know the rent on the place was like $12,000 or $15,000, and
Damn.
then like to the reception hall you had to pick from a list of approved vendors for catering it, and the catering was 10 grand, and I'm not including the DJ, the flowers, the all the other incidental stuff.
Right. Um,
And let's see, what year was that? Let's see, Brandon was like 6, so what year was Brandon was born? 7. Yeah, it must have been like in 2000, the fall of 2012, I think.
Javis says 2019 about 30K. Have mercy. Anissa, you better start flipping some damn shit because you got some twins that you're going to have to marry off.
I don't know. I'd rather have somebody give me the money. Say, okay, you want to spend 30,000 for a wedding? I'll tell you what. Why don't you just give me the money and I'll do my own wedding.
Yeah, we started out thinking David's would be 10 grand, and then it just zoomed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. Mr. Sadie will be telling his granddaughters, "Okay, I'll pick up the tab on it, but we're going to go get married in a chapel in Vegas by Elvis."
I know somebody, very rich person, very rich, and she didn't have a church wedding. She went to the courthouse one day. She goes, I told my husband, I'd rather have you buy me a truck than spend all that money on a wedding. Now they did go do their honeymoon out in Hong Kong, but yeah, their wedding. She just had a courthouse wedding. She goes, I'd rather have a truck or use the money for something more fun than a wedding. But I guess if that's important to you to do your big day, I get it. But to me, I'd rather have the money.
Yeah. David's wedding, they had the drone flying around taking pictures and all sorts of shit.
Oh yeah, and the photographer, yeah.
Well, or something special like Bridget's daughter got married in Mexico on the beach. You know,
Hmm.
that
I
something like that. I just don't see anything about dumping. When I got married the first time, my in-laws spent a fortune. This would have been 1978, and um, my ex's wedding dress was $7,000.
I had a customer that
That
when
was
I
I could. We looked at a brand new Chevrolet Monte Carlo, fully loaded with all the bells, buzzers, and buttons, and it was $7,500.
I had a customer when I did the horse business up north yet, and she got married at Disney,
Uh huh.
and I think that cost her around 60 grand. Very wealthy family, very wealthy. But yeah, I'm like, I'd rather have the just give me the money.
One of my buddies, they spent 100 grand on his daughter's wedding.
jeez.
I said, "You have lost your damn mind." Only I threw a couple other descriptive words in there, And he said, "Well, we didn't pay for it all."
I
He
don't know.
said,
Like I said, I'd rather have, if I was the bride, I'd be like, hey, why don't you just give me the money? I'll do something in the backyard if it's important to you, but just give me the money. Then you have a down payment on a house. You could go buy a car, you know? I don't know.
Hmm.
"Lag." I don't have anything against the gay and lesbian world, but she left me for another woman, so I don't. They were too embarrassed to even say anything because this would have been in '79. Okay,
Oh, yeah, everybody kept it hidden way back
yeah.
then. Yeah, it wasn't like it is now.
I mean, our divorce decree is was what do you call it when it's locked away? It takes a judge's order to.
Oh, like sealed?
Yeah, it's sealed.
Oh, oh
My
boy.
ex-in-law had my ex-father-in-law. He had some clout. He had some money and he had some clout. Yeah, well, they paid for it.
Does she live in your area or farther away from
Oh,
you?
I still see her every once in a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we stand there and talk like it's what's going on with the families and whatnot. But both her parents are dead now,
Hmm.
and my dad's passed away. She asked about my mom and stuff like that. Um, but anyway, no, I wasn't paying nothing back, and they wanted to spend this money. Like my in-laws did not like the church, the interior of their church. They said it needed to be painted, so they had a big old church, the interior of a church, the sanctuary repainted.
Oh boy.
So I think
Remind
people
me
get a
that.
little. I think people get a little crazy with this stuff. You know, you're just as married if you go down to the. And I understand people want to have something special on. That's a special day,
If that's your
but
personality, I get it. I'm a blender. I don't like people be like, "Oh, you look so great" or whatever. I'd rather just people leave me alone. So I don't want to stand up in front of a bunch of people when they're looking at me and shit. And then
it's,
people want to hug you and that. See, I don't like any of that stuff. So
I Roberta and I both had been married before, so when we got married, a friend of mine was a notary, and we went down to her house in historic Brattonsville and got married in her living room. I told my mom
yeah,
the next morning, by the way, I got married yesterday. Roberta and I got married last night. Oh, she was not happy about that at all. You couldn't have gotten married in the church.
I don't
I'm
know.
like,
Do they let you get married in the church once you're divorced?
Oh yeah,
Well, not the Catholics. You only get one
yeah.
Catholic. You only get one Catholic wedding.
really?
Yep. If you get divorced, you got to have it. You got to spend some money, and I don't know if you got to have it annulled through the church or something like that. But it's sort of
Yeah.
expensive in that.
So we ran off and got married. Stopped by Quincy's on the way home and had a nice little dinner. Do y'all know what Quincy's is? That's like a Golden Corral. And went home and went to bed because we both had to be up at 4:30 the
Oh
next
my God!
morning.
When me and Jim got married, we had to go drag his old dad because we needed a couple witnesses. We got at the courthouse, so we didn't realize we needed witnesses. So I called up a friend of mine. Got his dad. He's like, "Hey, come on, you got to be a witness. We're gonna get married today." Anyway, so we go down to the courthouse. Jim knows the judge real good. We had set it up ahead of time. Then we get married. Then we went and had lunch at this local cafe. And then Jim went back to the real estate office to finish up work, and I went home and cleaned stalls.
Real romantic, just
Yeah.
like me and Roberta.
I think I had some lessons that night too, maybe, but I had to go to work at the barn, and he went to the real estate office and finished up his day.
Well,
Nothing says romance like shoveling horse shit.
Yep.
y'all had been. He had been married before. This was your first
Yeah.
time getting married, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jim's my only husband. I don't believe in divorce, Tom. If you get married, you have to stay married for life.
Until she buries you.
Till death do we part.
You know that hole that she throws all that that horse poop in. That's where she hides her bodies at. because the dogs would never be able to smell it. But anyway, it just, I don't know. It's all about the stuff. I mean, like I've talked about before, high schoolers spending $20,000 to go to the damn prom. What the hell is wrong with these people? You know, I rented a tux. I picked up my girl, who later became the first Mrs.
Well,
Tom Hucks,
but
and then
frankly,
we went to a local seafood restaurant, had dinner. I drove my mama's 1973 Kingswood station wagon with two other couples in the car with us. We went to the prom. That was it.
I think because you know what I think part of it is, we're older, so we're talking like older people. Like, why would you want to spend that much money on that kind of stuff? Like I'd rather have the money in cash than spend it on that. But I think sometimes when you're younger, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and you're like, well, Susie's got a better dress than me, and she spent 2,500. I want to go spend 5 grand and really show her up. You know what I mean? Where
Right.
I think as you get older, maybe you lose a little bit of that. You'd rather have the money in the bank.
Lag, did you go to the prom? Did you have a fancy tux or dress, depending on who you really are? It's you're right. The kids want to be seen, and that's the reason the social media and Snapchat and all that kind of stuff. And I uh, I don't know. I was just never that kind of person. Yes, it was in the living room. Okay. When my sons went to a little Christian private school, in their prom there was like 10 couples there. That was it. Uh, so your sales have been going good, or fairly decent. The bills are getting paid. The
Yep.
kid's not going hungry.
No, he costs a lot to feed, though. I'll tell you that. He's big. He's
Have you
big.
had
He can
any?
eat a lot of food.
He's got his permit, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you don't have to actually have him added onto the insurance until he gets his restricted license.
No, he's had it on our insurance because he's learning how to drive. He has to drive an adult, but I still have to have him on our insurance.
In North Carolina, you don't have to have. They're not
Uh,
actually added to
so they
the
get
ins-
like a regular
until
license.
they get a driver's
Uh,
license where they can drive by themselves.
oh yeah, no,
And
we already
then
notified our insurance. I mean, I can't remember how much it added to our insurance bill, but because Jim takes care of that. But no, we did because God forbid he hits somebody.
it's a case where you need to start telling them, dude, you better not give us any trouble because daggum putting a damn new boy on your car insurance, man, it
Yeah.
goes out of the world. It's expensive. Probably in Texas they don't even
Well,
have.
and here I don't know if you have it in Carolina. Like, so we didn't have this in Wisconsin. So your school, you have what you call your county school, like Board of Education. Do you have
Right.
those down by you? Anyway, so
School
when
districts.
you go in to take your written test, you have to have a letter from the Board of Education that you're passing your grades or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you have to give that letter to the DMV or whatever they call it down here, and then I think the school notifies it, like if you get failing grades or something like that.
Right.
Well, I mean, we didn't have that in Wisconsin. I mean, I didn't have it when I was a kid, I know, and like Jim's like, no, I didn't have it when my other two were learning how to drive, so it's a little different here.
It's that's something relatively new. I mean,
Um,
like now my oldest
Even
son.
like the Board of Education thing, like when we enrolled Brandon in school, you got to go to the Board of Education building to enroll him. You like
Right.
if I lived in Wisconsin, you just go to the school, you just notify the school office, hey, I'm going to have a kid coming into your school district. It's a little different here.
How many high schools did you have in your district?
Here or up north,
Like high school up in Wisconsin.
we only had the one.
Okay.
So yeah, if you in Vilas County is a big county, so if you live way on the other end of Vilas County, I mean, some of those kids had like a 2.5 hour bus ride. The
Damn.
city I live in now, we have and I say a lot down here. You seem like you have it. You'll have a county school, like Brandon goes to Taylor County High School, but
Right.
you'll have a city school too. So there's a Campbellsville High School that's in the city, but he could go to Campbellsville High School because it's open enrollment. He could pick either school he wanted to go to.
Now see, in I grew up in York County, South Carolina, and there was four school districts. The county was,
Mm.
and it was Rock Hill, York, Clover, and Fort Mill. And if you lived within those areas, you went to whatever high school they had. There was two high schools when I went to Rock Hill
Well,
in
and I'll
Rock Hill.
say here they're real like strict. Like you have to go to the school that's in your county.
Right,
See, like when I lived in Wisconsin, I lived in Eagle River, so my son went to Northland Pines. But if I wanted to, he could have went to the Three Lakes High School, which is across the county line in Oneida County. I
right.
mean, he went to the Northern Pines, but here, like, because we live on the county line, they're like, okay, we gotta be in Taylor County. Because if I was just like a mile up the road across the line in Marion, then he'd have to go to Marion's high school.
Well, in Mecklenburg County, we have one school district,
Mm,
Mecklenburg County Schools. Um, that's the reason when, like on the north, and I've said it before, on the north side of Charlotte, they'll get 3 inches of snow, and we don't get anything. It's sunny and 70 on the south side of the county,
mm-hmm.
and they'll close the whole school district down because the buses can't run in the north side,
Yeah.
and so because I guess the logistics is too much to try to.
So is your county, do you have like multiple elementary schools or multiple middle schools depending on where you live?
We have 8 high schools. We have like 10 middle schools, and God only knows how many elementary we
You're like
have.
here, that Taylor County School District, they have, their middle school, their elementary, and a high school. That's that district. And then you could go to Campbellsville Independent, which would have a middle school, primary, and high school, but that's all you got. Or like in Vilas County, you have like, they're all part of the Northland Pines system, but you'd have like Land O'Lakes, St. Germain, another place. They'd go to middle school there that then have to come to Eagle River to go to high school.
You Land Lakes, like the butter.
Yeah, like the butter.
You know what? I've sold coffee cups with that gum logo on it. All kinds
The
of
well, I don't know if they're doing as good as they were, but like if you got the butter box that still had the Native American maiden on them, they
right,
were actually doing pretty good. Or
yeah,
like those they made a tin recipe box
right.
that even if it don't have the cards, it does pretty good.
And Val, you were 12 years old when you just started dating your husband, or, or was that when y'all got married? You were 12 years old when you got married 34 years ago. Because, honestly, being in Texas, you know, and the Carolinas, Georgia,
I
Alabama,
was gonna say I don't think Texas is
Mississippi.
Texas ain't as bad as like the Carolinas and Georgia and
Uh,
Alabama, Mississippi.
you
No
know,
disrespect to those states.
there that's possible. It's possible. Um, well, congratulations on your 34th wedding anniversary.
Well, last year we were at Brandon's football banquet, and one of the seniors there had his pregnant girlfriend there, and she looked like she was showing, so she might have been like 6.5, getting to be 7 months pregnant. And they do a thing like to awards for the seniors, and they're like, "We just know you're going to be a great dad and a great, member of society and a great father." And I'm thinking, if I'm at the football banquet when he's a senior and I got his pregnant girlfriend sitting at the table with us, I'm going to kill my kid. Anyway, but I guess you can't put the shit back in the donkey. So once you're in it, you just got to go with it.
Well, oh, so you were actually 21 when you got married.
Can't put the shit back in the donkey.
Let's see, James says, I recently sold the recipe box, got almost $49 for it. Cool.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, I haven't sold one for a while, but I know I was getting like at least 35 for them. Yeah, watch that Land O'Lake stuff. But it has to have the Native American girl on them.
The ones the coffee mugs I had the girl on it.
Yeah.
Um, when I was in high school, a couple of girls got pregnant, and you didn't see them again.
No, that's how it was when I was in high school. You got put in like East Wing or whatever, and you didn't go to class with general population. You had your own classes, that you took, and I think they mostly tried to get you your GED. But yeah, you were upstairs in your own classroom.
general population, you sound like we were all in prison. And some
Well,
of them felt
sometimes
like
it was
that.
a little bit like that, wasn't it? But yeah, I mean, I don't know about now, but yeah, they'd separate you. Oh, okay, you're pregnant, you're separated from everybody
Yeah.
else.
There was
It's like
none
you
of
had
this.
the plague.
There
Might
was
get
none of this
contagious.
going to the
Let's
prom.
separate the pregnant girl. It might get contagious and spread
That's
here.
right. Might. So, Todd, what you got on your agenda today?
I'll just finish shipping, and then I'm going to list these other 28,342 death pile items I have.
Right?
Oh boy.
You going to get that done today?
Yeah.
Thank you, Craig. Have you ever seen Craig's wife? Craig's wife looks like she's half as old as he is.
Nice looking lady, yes. Very,
She's a nice looking lady,
very
you know.
pretty.
And I'm
Um,
thinking, what
and then
the
I
hell
look
is
at Craig and I go, what the hell?
exactly? Did he get her drunk and take her to the wedding chapel and get married? I mean, they got cute kids too, but
She's younger, what, 23 years?
yeah, she's half as old as he is. Uh,
No, she's a very pretty lady.
yeah, she is. So you tell her we said that we were talking about her, how nice, how pretty she is, Craig, and we're also saying, what the hell is she doing with him?
Swamp's back.
He's swamp.
Well, he's stocking up those Land O'Lake containers. Well, now's the time to cash them in.
I guess
Are they
Craig just
still
has a lot
doing
of
good?
money.
Honestly, I haven't. I'm gonna look because I haven't sold one in a really long time. Uh,
What about our views, Val?
Our wives.
Oh, so are your. I thought. God, I
You
can't
said
read.
views.
I thought it looked like views.
Well, that's
So
usually
yeah,
the case.
yeah.
The guys look like hell, and they're married. They got these pretty women that they're married to. I mean,
because guys don't take care of themselves.
Tristan was attractive woman. Joni's attractive woman. Tara's an attractive woman.
I'll
And
be the judge of that.
then you got these old dudes they're married to.
Morning, Mark.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mark.
Oh my God. Yeah, here's somebody sold 4 of the plastic Land O'Lakes containers with the maiden on them, but they're the plastic ones, that you get.
Right.
They sold them for $20, but I guess who'd want to sit on those things saving them that long? It'd be
Yeah,
like
this
to me sometimes. See, I just when I would use that stuff, I'd throw it away. I guess I'm not thinking that way because it'd be like saving country crock tubs. I don't know.
lunch boxes.
Well, lunchboxes have value.
No, I'm talking about people
Oh,
using big
crud! Oh
country
my God!
trucks.
If you sent your kid, hey, you haven't had a kid for a while. If I took Brandon and said, "Brandon, I'm packing a lunch. I'm put in this country crock margarine container," he'd be pissed and he would not take it to school.
My best friend, they used to live in a very swanky neighborhood. And we used to give him and his wife, one of our other male friends, we used to give him and his wife hell because, like, we can never see. If they put Michael out cleaning flower beds out like most kids do, in front of the house, pull the weeds out of them and stuff like that, I said, the damn DSS will be showing up. Child abuse. Oh, Lord. And so I could just imagine a kid now going to school with a dadgum country crock.
Oh yeah, like if your mom didn't have lunch bags and she'd pack your lunch and put it in like a Wonder Bread bread wrapper, you'd be like, "Oh my God, the kids are gonna make fun of me."
I never cared.
Well,
See,
I did. I'd be like, "No." You're gonna.
But
I save them for leftovers, lag. The
My
country crock,
grandmother, yeah, I
which is
have. I
bad
guess.
for you. I know in this, excuse me, Tara. I know in this that stuff is bad for you. It's all petroleum. But it smears so easy. Anyway,
yeah, I
Yeah, my
remember
grandmother
Mom
had
and
about
Dad used to put
400 of them.
leftover hamburger in bread
Yeah, no.
wrappers and freeze it.
Oh yeah, my like grandma and stuff. She'd save bread wrappers. She'd turn them inside out, make sure they're all clean and stuff. And I'm like, I just can't do it anyway.
you just too spoiled. You're rich. You got money. You're a horse
No, because I
lady.
remember when like getting rid of this stuff after she passed away, and then you got to get rid of like 1,000 empty Wonder Bread wrappers and 1,200 Country Crock plastic tubs. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, I see. I knew Anissa would have something to say about it. One molecule away from plastic, Tom.
Oh, are you talking about Country Crock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Well, I
Give me
got kind of
butter.
healthy conscious there for a while, and I was taking sticks of butter and sticking it in my my what's it, the stick blender thing,
Uh huh.
and I
Or
would
like
blend it up
making
so
your own margarine.
yeah, well, so it'd make it smooth to be able to spread on toast and biscuits and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to tell me you were eating sticks of butter. I'm like, Tom, that's not healthy.
Hell no.
I knew somebody that could take butter and eat it like ice cream with a spoon. I'm like, how the hell do you do that? Anyway, I mean, I like butter, but I'm not going to eat it straight off the stick.
Keeps you regular.
I
I
guess.
couldn't do it. I don't know. I just can't do it. I don't like butter on a sandwich. You know,
I
like if
don't
you make
either.
like a lunch meat sandwich, and sometimes my grandma wouldn't have any mayonnaise or Miracle Whip, so she'd put butter on it, and you'd take a bite, and I'd be like, oh, butter, oh. Anyway,
Sorry, I dropped one of my pills. I had to pick it up on
oh,
the
I thought you
floor.
dropped your stick of butter.
I dropped one of my pills. You're such a bitch, Tara. I love you so, but God Almighty,
Hold on, I'll drop my stick of butter.
we're going to end this show with a prayer for Jim. But
Yeah, these boots sold for 135. Whoop whoop.
Well, yeah,
dang,
motorcycle boots do good.
Yeah,
I've sold them before.
these were made in. Were these made? Italy.
Ooh,
Italy.
Italy. Well, then you know it's quality.
yeah. Only if it's a toasted sandwich, lag. Only if it's toasted.
No,
Uh,
I don't like.
Swamp
I'll eat
knows
if
these.
I want to have toast and put butter on it. Fine. I'm not putting anything else on it with butter.
No jelly, no jam.
Not with butter. Then you have toast with jam. Oh, mix butter and jam.
There was a big tote of motorcycle stuff in a
Why didn't you
garage,
buy it?
garage sale. I did. That's where these came from.
Oh, okay.
I got
What was
two
it? All clothing?
jackets,
Well, there you go.
these boots, some protective, like motocross gear.
Mm-hmm. What'd you pay
Uh,
for it?
$100, and these sold for 135, and I sold one of the jackets for 100. So
Well, there you go.
Well, once you get it listed, then you need to send
it is
Glenn a
listed.
link and let him look at it and say, "Hey, not enough or too much."
It's already listed. I
Oh,
already
is it?
sold two of them. I sold a
Glenn
jacket and
probably
a pair of
already
boots.
knows Todd's store.
Because that stuff's all over the place.
What, motorcycle gear?
Yeah, I had a godson, and he was like 12, 13, and he did motocross, and he was always like, "Pop, how about buy me such and such?" You've got a father and a mother that love you too much. Go ask them. Dad's already said no. And I said, "So you coming to me now?" I said, "I'm gonna have to ask your mom if I can buy it for you." And he would say, "Oh, you can't do that because she'll tell you not." And I said, "Well, then I can't because she'll make my life hell."
I got a Harley jacket here. I got a list that's in the death pile.
Well,
I should get that listed.
okay. Yeah, let's keep that $200 worth of stuff just laying around and never.
Well, sometimes I don't get to it. But yeah.
Okay, this is from the man that's got $40,000 worth of stuff laying behind his desk.
We're not
I do.
talking about me, Tom. We're
I
talking
just
about
am
Tara.
looking at it. It's here.
We're talking
Because
about
I don't.
a
I do
real
get some.
reseller.
I do some clothes, but you know what the thing is with clothes is I never list them as fast as I list regular stuff. I don't know why.
I hate listing
But
clothes.
I have been trying to knock it down some because I did have. I mean, I got like some snowmobile clothes that got left over from when we were up north and stuff. I'm gonna get this shit listed.
I've got some boys' clothes that are new with tags listed. That if they haven't sold in a couple of more years, I'm just going to just give them to my niece that's got the
I think kids'
son
clothes
that
are
can
hard
wear
to
them.
sell unless it's like some real high end brand or something.
Right.
I wouldn't. I don't mess with kids' clothes, even if they're new with tags. They seem really hard to sell.
I don't mind clothes because it's just, to me, it's
They're
just like,
easy and they're easy to ship.
yeah,
You know.
it's just mindless activity that makes little money.
How do
Yeah,
you
but it is
ship those,
mindless
Todd?
listing it
Huh?
How do you ship those clothes?
in an envelope,
In a
in a poly
poly
mailer,
bag?
in a
in,
poly
in
bag.
a cereal box?
Yeah, pizza box because then they can smell what you ate the night before.
Yeah.
I used to ship everything almost in those cardboard post office priority box,
Oh yeah,
priority
like it was
envelopes.
like an envelope. Yeah,
But when they came out with Ground Advantage, all that became obsolete.
yeah. Well, a lot of times T-shirts and stuff will go. Well, I guess there is no first class anymore. It's ground advantage. So
It's all too expensive. And then I get a damn handful of junk mail every freaking day, and they're probably paying like 1/10 of a cent to have that
I
thing
will. I
posted.
will say this: if you have
What's that?
these laying in your death pile, go list them. I think I've sold in the last 7 days. I think I've sold 6 or 7 Christmas sweaters.
Yeah, it's under my carport, so it's inside. But you can see it from the street. Y'all
Do
sound
you,
just like Gwen.
well, as long as you don't have an HOA, you're fine.
Yeah, Lag and John, y'all sound like women.
It's I know these people are harsh in here.
No.
I tell you, it's
Well, don't feel bad, Todd. I got a box. I got the box truck is full of car parts and a little bit of small engine parts that I got to list.
Oh, he just admitted it. He is a woman.
Oh boy, he is a woman.
yeah. The Lutheran women just have Todd wrapped around their little finger. They say,
I got
Todd,
one of those. I got one of those coin op kitty ride horses. I got to list too.
really?
Yeah.
What denomination does it take?
I think it's not super old. I think it takes a quarter.
Okay.
What
So that's
denomination?
like a early '80s.
It's probably a
It's
Lutheran.
metal. The horse is metal. It's not a Sandy though, but the
Right.
horse is metal. Supposedly, it was somebody that moved here from New York, and supposedly, but I have nothing to authenticate it or prove it. Supposedly, it was at Coney Island.
Ah.
I took a
Always,
picture of it. It's on my Facebook, but it's older post on my Facebook.
always wanted to go there.
I
Oh,
was there when I was a kid. I was probably like 5.5, maybe 6 when I went.
it's been many years ago. I mean, it was after the boys came along. Roberta and I
It was
went to
kind of junky when I went there, but it would have probably been about 1980.
right.
I'll tell you a quick story. They had this diving bell ride you went on,
Uh huh.
and you go in this like big pool of water and you're supposed to see a sunken ship. Well, the water was so algae and dirty and stuff you couldn't see shit. So in the middle of this diving bell, that must have been like where the hydraulic ram was that made the bell go up and down. It was kind of leaking a little bit, and I was always looking for safety issues. And I said to the operator, I'm like, you know that's leaking water. And I didn't want to drown either. That's leaking some water. Now, to a kid, it looked like a lot of water. Probably
Right.
wasn't a lot of water. He said in a nice New York accent, why don't you go back over by your mom and dad? And I thought, this guy is not taking this seriously. This is a safety issue. So there were some other kids there, kids that my mom was friends with their family. That's we were there in New York visiting them. I
Yeah.
told them, and I'm like, we're all going to drown because this thing is leaking water. And I got about 6 kids that started screaming and yelling in that diving dumbbell, and you had to bring the ride up early.
We went to we went to Atlantic City years ago, and we were there in February, so there was a lot of snow on the ground. We went there to the Harris Casino. That's the reason we were in Atlantic City. And we went down to the boardwalk because it was really nice. The temperature was nice, and um, they had this little museum on the boardwalk, and there was an old couple of old guys sitting outside of it. And I said, I bet this was something else in its heyday. And both of them looked at each other and they said, well, we were like 10 when it was in its heyday. And he said it was. He said it was. You just could not imagine how people dressed to walk up and down the
Oh, like
boardwalk.
Atlantic City? Yeah, wasn't that
Yeah,
like huge, like in the 20s or 30s? I mean, it was
yeah.
like really fancy and stuff. I've never been to Atlantic City.
I mean, but it was. He said it was something else. He said people would dress up and walk up and down the boardwalk,
Promenade.
and uh, and I like that kind of stuff. That's the reason I like to go to Coney Island
So you
before.
were out there dressed in your white linen suit with a big
No,
hat
no,
on,
no, no,
walking
no.
up and down the
I was
boardwalk.
dressed like I was getting ready to set out across the daggum tundra.
You're
It was
like,
cold.
what's that movie that has Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and the Reeves guy that was Superman? Where they're at that? It was filmed in Wisconsin. Something Before Time or something,
Yeah,
Lost in Time, or they're at that hotel and he keeps staring at that nickel until he can go back in time.
right.
Well, if you think of the premise of the story, it's ridiculous. But anyway,
Hmm.
I mean, I like that kind of stuff. I wanted to be a history teacher when I was in high school, or in junior high school, and my history teacher who was a man, said, "No, you need to do that." He says you need to do, which I was good in history. I was always good in history. He said, "No," he says, "You're a guy. You're going to have to support a family." He said, "You need a better job than being a history teacher." He said, "That's
I
the
know, but
reason
now teachers make pretty good money.
not down here they didn't."
In Wisconsin, I have, well, my sister in law is a teacher. She's doing pretty good, but that one, she was an older lady because they get vested so long up there. She was
Right.
making more in her retirement than she made teaching. She was pulling in. She was like 75 years old, and she's pulling in her teacher's retirement 90 grand a year.
That's Todd.
Yeah, there you go. That's why you can't compete with Todd at the auctions.
John, we would fly in and a limo would take us to the airport. I mean, to the casino. But I did like those little jitneys they had. They were like the little vans. Them guys driving those things were insane. Probably that you need to get laid to lag, or I don't know.
That's what that means. I
I
dreamed I
don't
could
know.
fly. Subconsciously,
I
I
don't
really
know.
need to get laid.
I don't know. Anyway, it's getting late. It's 10:12.
Nap time.
Yeah, and now I got stuff to do. I got to keep moving because I have learned that if I keep moving, my arthritis doesn't bother me as much. If I, like Sunday, I was busy all day redoing all of this in my utility room, and so yesterday I took it really easy, and last night I could hardly walk. So
No, you got to take a couple of those Tylenol PM and drift off to
no,
sleep.
none of that crap does you good. I've got some gabapentin if I need to take something, but I don't
Oh,
like
wow.
taking.
You got the good stuff.
It makes me dizzy.
I never took it, but that's for like nerve pain and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know some people that take it and they
So
say it works really good.
if I stay busy, if I'm constantly moving, then it helps.
I'm going to get you one of those t shirts that says, keep moving.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I guess Scott will have a show tomorrow, so check him out. Thank you, Tara, for coming in here. You're always great fun.
Hmm.
Thank you, wink, wink, Tar, for coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know you're gonna be busy the next couple days, so yeah.
and thank you, Todd, for always coming in and hanging out with me. I
Yep.
appreciate it. You're such good fun. And thank y'all, everybody in the chat, because y'all are the best. Todd and I have the best chatters, if that's what you want to call them. Even when you are abusive to me.
I will say they're loyal.
They are.
They do keep coming into this train wreck. So
Yeah. Thank you, Tara.
you're welcome.
Where the hell is Jim at? He needs to get his woman under control.
Yeah, he's at grandma's today.
Oh, is he watching her? Or,
Yeah, yeah. No, he helps his sister because then they can go out. Can't really leave her home alone with nobody. So then her and her husband can do some stuff and
right.
not be trapped in the house with cuckoo
Well,
birds.
that's hard, and all you young folk in the chat need to realize that
You gotta
those
take
were
care of your parents.
yeah those and it can when I was having to help take care of my dad, and I was driving to Rock Hill and helping take care of him, which is about 45 minutes. It can get old real fast, but it's your responsibility.
Well, I will say the good thing here is they're only like 8 minutes up the
Yeah.
road, so it isn't very far.
Brandon's going to put Jim and Tara in the damn home the first chance he gets.
No, he won't. He's too greedy. He doesn't want the nursing home to eat up all my real estate holdings.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah, I
right.
know. He does say if you get senile like grandma, though, I don't know what. He's already planning out. He's like, well, I'm not taking care of you at this house and you at this house. You guys are gonna have to live together. I'm like, well, I don't want to live with somebody else anyway.
Well,
Sorry,
who
like,
else? Who
well,
else
because
did you?
Jim's sister is right here too.
Uh,
I'm like, well, I don't think I gotta go move in with Jim's sister.
do you? Does she have kids?
No, she does not have any kids.
Oh, so that's the reason he said that y'all gonna have to all live in the same house.
Oh yeah, she's like Brandon's like her kid.
Oh god. Well, that's good. That means he'll get even more inheritance.
Yeah, he'll do all right.
Because it's just Jim and his sister, right? No other
Yeah.
brothers.
Well, Jim has a brother, but his
Uh,
brother has his own kids.
okay. Well, I mean,
I don't think his brother's
I
gonna
didn't
give
know. I was
everything
talking
to
about that
Brandon.
as far as grandma's inheritance coming down. So it'll be split 3 ways instead of 2 ways, and
Oh
then
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then the 2 of those 3 ways will be coming
I don't
down
know.
to
I don't
Brandon.
think about it. All my family's dead, so I've inherited everything. Next inheritance I'm involved in is when I'm dead or when I die.
Brandon's thinking when these old folk kick off, I'll be in the money.
I don't know. He's a stingy old cheap ass. He'll be like, oh good. He'll just stovepipe it up. He works that little job. He works over at that horse farm some, and he don't spend any of that money. He just sits on it.
It says y'all go out to dinner. He's like, y'all picking this up, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
then
no, he definitely has me buy stuff. Yeah, he definitely when he wants to buy stuff, he leans on my pocketbook. But his is like under lock and key. He don't spend any of it.
last comment before we go. Is it just that my sons pick nice girls, or is this the way it is? We'll go out to dinner with the daughter-in-law, or my son and daughter-in-law, or a son and his probably future daughter-in-law, my future daughter-in-law, and Roberta. They'll bring the tab, and Roberta will just hand it to me, and I'll have to pay for everything. And the girls are like, "Oh, you don't have to do that. We can pay for our own." And Roberta's like, yeah, just be quiet. Is are they just trying to be nice, or is that the way the mindset is now? These women, these independent women, that they can pay their own tab.
I don't know. When Jim would take me out, he'd always pay, but I'd be like, "Do you want some money?" And he'd be like, "No, no," and I'd be like, "Okay,"
I'm not talking
because I don't
about.
want to be.
I'm not talking
Oh,
about
you don't
you
know
in a
talking about
date.
a date? I did
I'm
it because like when I go out with a guy, I don't want to be holden for any expectations. So I'm like, at least I paid for my own meal.
Yeah, he had been pregnant 6 months before you ever got. uh, I'm talking about like when you go out with your in-laws or your family, your
I
parents.
don't know. I mean, I always will say, "Well, how much is mine?" I always kind of offer.
Now, when they were just all when they were single, or when they're with just the boys are just with us, um, they don't even they don't even look at the damn bill. They know mom and dad's going to pick it up. But I always try to pay that bill. But my kids often grab it and says, "Damn, you don't try too hard, do you, Jabus? Let them grab that thing." So anyway, y'all all have a great day. See you tomorrow over on Scott's show if he has one, because he's kind of going through a midlife crisis or something.
Oh no, Scott's going through a midlife crisis.
He just like I can't. I spend too much time on YouTube.
Oh, I can see you getting burnt out on you. I was used to go on it a lot more, but it takes up a bunch of your time.
Yeah, it does.
Honestly, when you do it every day, God love you too. I mean, it does take up your time, and you start thinking, I should really be doing this other stuff.
I got
Well,
nothing better to do, so that's why I do
Well, I mean,
YouTube.
look at like Valerie and that. I mean, how many years did she do it every single
yeah,
morning?
and she relied on it for her reselling for her livelihood. So, um, I can
Even like
understand.
Callie or Nikki. I mean,
Right.
everybody, life changes, and I mean, even if you think about it, even like Golden Finger. I mean, you don't really see him. He had a video like last week, but he don't do videos like he used to.
It's I enjoy it. And I don't have to drive to the dadgum Waffle House to sit.
Reselling shows have changed a lot too. I mean,
Yeah,
they ain't like they were like when I first started watching them. They are a lot different now.
yeah. All right, guys. Have a great one.
All right,
Peace.
goodbye.
Bye, Todd. Bye,
Bye.
Tara.
Bye.